Welcome back to Nerdrotic Live, everybody. And we are going to be covering Unidentified and the latest episode of that and of Ancient Aliens, which I just watched this evening after I dusted this entire office. Took all damn day. But I was also busy on my Russian troll farm, planting my trolls, hoping to harvest them in time for this fall's Star Wars. So the Russian trolls can rise up to review bomb an American film, because that's what their goal is to do. And that's why I created the Russian troll bots. But they take a while to grow. You know, you have to find some good soil, some good Russian soil to grow them in. Yes, I'm referring to Robert Meyer Burnett's live stream from earlier today. And I still believe he is trying to purge subscribers. So yes, there's a lot to talk about. And if you see smoke, I'm doing super hippie stuff, burning some incense in here just to get the mood going for the UFO. I'm not on fire. So first things first, got tweeted at by Seth MacFarlane today, and that was effing cool. That made my freaking day. So I don't know what prompted it, to be honest with you. I did an Orville video for Geeks and Gamers, and Jeremy was kind enough to allow me to do that, and he posted it today. And then I went off and did some stuff, sat down and went on Twitter, and freaking Seth MacFarlane tweeted at me. I'm like, what the hell? That was great. So that was a great early Father's Day present. And he just said, thanks for the Orville love. And dude, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for a good show that brings people together, has a great fandom. And I look forward to season 3. So that was brilliant. Hello, everybody. Yes. So we're going to be talking some UFO stuff. And I know I've been doing that pretty heavy here on Nerdrotic Live. I'm going to do some other stuff on this channel too, but really, I'm itching to talk about UFO stuff, and we can't do an Exozone until next week. So, Doomcock's schedule is kind of crazy. Mine's opening up pretty much, so I can do it whenever. But we got to wait for him to have a good time to do it. So it's not an official Exozone unless it's Doomcock is here. Michael Wolf, Bionic Belly Button, Kaylee the Cinema Queen, Chris Saint, Mismatched Sock, Bear Nerd Fun, All Out of Bubblegum. Is your refrigerator running? Yes. Mark Lazurth, and I just Drackle6 and Michael Canole and RX7FD9782 and Viking Turtle. Oh, and Michael Canole, thank you for the $4.99 Queen theme. Great. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like that. I don't think I've ever done a video like that before. So it was my first time trying to, do a kind of a retrospective without spoiling anything. I don't know. I want to do one for The Expanse. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time on Mahler's channel, I will be on EFAP. I shouldn't even be live streaming tonight. I should be resting my voice because I'm probably going to be doing like 10 hours of live stream tomorrow. But what the hell? You guys won't get sick of me, right? Right? Okay, let's get to a couple more super chats, and then we will talk about the shows. Okay, C. Walker, 94, $2. Please check your email about Plex, titled Plex account. I did see it. I haven't had chance. This is like my first time really on the computer today because I had it all unplugged. Michael Connell, thank you again for the $4.99, and C. Walker 94. I will check that out because I do want to see Chernobyl. And thank you. Svi 199. Hey, congrats on the Seth MacFarlane shout out. Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy. And and totally expect this to happen, by the way. So I was tweeted congratulations by, we'll just say, somebody at The Expanse, and then they deleted the tweet. So probably upon further review of my channel and seeing that I don't praise everything. I'm not one of those people. But I'm glad he did. He's a brave man, and I will, no matter what happens. I love the Orville. I love Seth. what really made me start liking Seth is, well, his comments and his jokes at the Oscars. And he was obviously trying to send us all a signal. So it kind of makes him the hero of Hollywood, to be honest with you. So he's not one of he's the one of the good guys there. He's one of the good guys, and we need to support the good guys. We need to support the people who like fans, and he clearly does because he was one. He's living a pretty damn good life right now, and good for him. He earned it. He worked hard for it, and I love Seth now. Illuminati for $10. Hey, Gary, greetings and happy Father's Day. I just wanted to let you know that I had 2 books sent to your box, Dune and Jim Marrs' Alien Agenda. Oh, I lost my copy of Alien Agenda. You are brilliant. They should be there Monday. Enjoy. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh God, that's so great. And the late great Jim Marrs. If you're drinking, tip one out for the late great Jim Marrs. Peter Davison is watching with his mother. Australian $5. Cheers. Thank you so much. It's tell mother hello, by the way, and tell her she's wonderful. Tell mother happy Father's Day, or and happy Mother's Day too. Tech guy, $2. Element 115 anti-grav element they kept secret, but they couldn't for long. And this was actually a really good episode of Ancient Aliens. It was very, very good. And they really didn't focus on anything ancient at all. They talked about Element 151 and Bob Lazar and basically how he's vindicated, but he's vindicated by more than one thing. They didn't mention the other thing he was vindicated, which I think is even more evidence. Like, I believe the guy 100% because his story's never changed. It's never changed. Destiny Captain, $1.99. Gary, did you get the Pete's e-card? I did. Thank you very much, Destiny Captain. I will respond to that. I'm going to use it tomorrow too. Thank you so much. Oh, that's brilliant. You guys are keeping me charged up on coffee. I got a freaking box of coffee. I got a box and e-cards, and you guys are wonderful. Man. Jack Random, $2. No Exozone tonight. Tonight's it's Project Beekler. That's right. Yeah, this was a good, both episodes were good, except something happened at the end of Unidentified, which was really tone deaf and stupid by the producers of that show. And I will get into that because the UFO community is not united right now. Honestly, it needs a shift. And I actually, Doomcock and I have talked about this. It needs new blood. It needs a shift. It needs to shift away from certain things, especially in light of what's going on right now. And I will explain to you a little bit of what I think is going on. And if you watch Richard Dolan, I'm pretty much right in line with him. If you want a reasonable voice in the ufology, it's Richard Dolan, period. Svi Lebetkin again for $9.99. Thank you for the $1.99 too. Keep me on your radar. Call me this morning. I read your entire email. That was a big one. I read your entire email. I will definitely think about it. But I did read the email. Yeah. So I'm thinking about it still before I respond. But thank you for thinking of me, and it's definitely something to ponder. It certainly is, my friend, and I appreciate you thinking of me. That's cool as hell. Okay, so we'll start with Ancient Aliens, and they covered Bob Lazar to the entire episode and Element 151, and they also had good old Mike Barra. I love Mike Barra. You ever see his channel? He gets in some weird stuff, that Mike Barra. But I love that guy. They had him and another guy go to a special effects guy, and they studied the East Coast video, gun camera video. This is not the Nimitz incident. This is another incident that happened only a few years ago, actually. And it's the rotating UFO. And Mike Barra, I remember hearing him say that he thought that was a drone, but after watching this footage and the special effects guy playing out, they straight up say it's one of these. Yes, I just happen to have, well, thanks to 3D Tracker, it's one of these, and it was doing this, but while it was flying. So it was all something like one of our planes can't do unless it's flying forward. This is, I mean, we're saying, it was, it was, what did they say? A plane can pitch and yaw. I don't even know about that shit, um, but the element 115 is the most fascinating thing. And what's going on right now is it's not just a trickle disclosure, it's the public starting to accept it. We're starting to see scientists accept it. We're starting to see more and more. Actually, a vast majority of people believe in UFOs nowadays, because there's so much fracking evidence. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of fake crap out there, and it's pretty easy to pick it out, to be honest with you. But when you have trained observers coming out, and the Nimitz incident has now become the biggest UFO incident of all time. This is bigger than Roswell. This is bigger than the Phoenix Lights. We are now witnesses to a resurgence. Remember, there was a couple of years I was like, man, this field is dead. It's dead. Drones are in the sky now. It's easier than ever to green screen stuff. Goddamn, I was watching PewDiePie and they can green screen Keanu Reeves. Some 9-year-old kid green screened Keanu Reeves into Minecraft. And it was hilarious, by the way. And it's dead. It's dead. And then this happens. Effing disclosure, which I was saying forever we would never see. And now we're seeing it. So here's the problem now, before I get into Lazar stuff. Everybody's saying it's an op, especially with the unidentified stuff. And we will definitely address that when I get to the unidentified stuff, because I'm going to say, yes, it is. It's a disclosure op. Why? I don't know. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. As long as they tell us the truth or some part of the truth, I don't expect to hear all the truth. And I don't think anybody should. I think there's a lot of things the government knows that we wouldn't want to know. Think about that. Okay, so they talk about element 151. They had Michio Kaku on, who I love. You see how classy that guy is. You can tell he still doesn't totally believe in UFOs, but he doesn't want anybody to feel shamed or stupid. And it's definitely, he keeps it. He's all, there's a possibility. But he's a scientist. He needs to be shown. But unlike Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku has class and dignity, and is, by all accounts, a good guy. And that's what we need representing science, somebody who's willing to have a conversation. So they go over basically Jeremy Corbell's documentary, which I'm sure, I don't know if any of you have seen. Bob Lazar and the space, I think it's Bob Lazar and the UFOs at Area 51 or something like that. It's on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend it. There is new information. And I will tell you right now, the 151, element 151 should be enough. That's your quote unquote smoking gun to prove that that guy worked there. He knew what he was talking about. And what they didn't cover in the show, which they really need to say, because it kind of blew me away when I heard it, is Bob Lazar says, we know how these things run. Now they covered that in the show. So he said, yeah, we know how these things run. We know how, like, what they're doing. It's the element 151 charges some kind of dampening field and it freaking warps space. Mike Berry even described it. And it basically rides a wave. So it generates this field that warps space. It's a gravity wave, and it rides a gravity wave, and you can go light speed without like actually burning any energy. And what they have is this heavy element that we right now cannot replicate. We know it exists in like a nanosecond when they throw two particles together. We saw that it exists, but we cannot. There's a certain isotope that it's just unstable. So, but we have some from the ship. And Bob Lazar probably took some, and that's probably why he came clean about Area 51, because he probably took some and went, oh shit, and this is the best way to keep people off them, in my opinion. And why not? Especially if the government has something like this and they're keeping it from the public, unless it's unstable and can blow up half the planet, I think that's, but if it's something that can like shut down nuclear power plants and start and power the planet, I think people should know about it. That's just me. So they covered both of that. It was like one of the better Ancient Alien episodes. I like it when they get weird, and I like it when they go into ancient history and look at the megalith stuff. But when they cover Bob Lazar, I'm all about it. So, and I like the Jeremy Corbell documentaries. I think he puts a lot of flair on them, and they're cool. I just think they're very cool. But I thought it was a very good episode. No Giorgio, but we got Mike Barra. We did, and we got David Hatcher Childress. The aliens, they know about the aliens. He signed 3 of my books at Contact in the Desert. Super nice guy. All right, so we got to get into Unidentified because I think the most fascinating things happen there, and I'll get to you guys in the chat after I do this brief rundown. So Lou Elizondo, former Pentagon worker, works for To the Stars Academy. And it's basically like a super team of guys from branches of the government who are seriously taking on the UFO subject. I think all these guys are real. I think what happened was it's a very bizarre situation because it's run by Tom DeLonge, the guitar player from my hometown's band, Blink 182 from San Diego, California. He used to live in Poway, and I actually worked on his SLX when I used to work at Acura many years ago when his band was at its height. He drove around a SLX, which is basically an Isuzu with a Acura shell on it. But so people think it's an op, people think it's a joke, and their rollout was terrible. They rolled out with some video that was a fucking Mylar balloon, and they crapped the bed, and it looked like their thing was DOA. And it's also based in my hometown of Encinitas, California, which I love. But now that we've seen some of their serious work, although they had a bad rollout, I think I think they're doing some good work. They found another security officer who witnessed something on the Nimitz, and he said something very okay. So the Nimitz had 5,000 people on it. How do you get 5,000 people? It's like a mall. It's like a shopping mall that's floating. That's crazy. So there's 5,000 people on the Nimitz, and most of them saw what was going on. They all saw the video. Apparently, the gun cam video got shared at everybody's email on the ship, so everybody saw it, and they saw a clear version of this. Now there were sightings all the time. So what they found out is these things went off the radar. And I'll take you to the island here. Hang on, I had it set up, but I don't now. It's Guadalupe Island. It's south of Ensenada. I've been to Ensenada like a lot. So let's go to Google Maps, and we're gonna look at. And I thought it was interesting that there's okay. So they've got the trained observers eyewitness testimony, and they're all saying we saw the tic tac. It moved erratically. It moved at supersonic speeds. That nobody can replicate. Nothing human can do this. Blah blah blah. Okay, right? So it goes off the radar. They see a security officer who saw some lights. He didn't see the actual tic tac, and they decide he's part of the show now. So he was an investigator. He was kind of like a ship security, like the MP or something like that. The funniest thing is, though, he's got a man bun, and he lives in Imperial Beach. So if you guys know, if anybody from San Diego knows anything about Imperial Beach, that's kind of like the uber hippie drug part of San Diego. Like I used to go, there's a beach down there. Its nickname for the 80s was Barter Town. And I used to go to Barter Town all the time. But I'm sure it's probably cleaned up now, but back in the 80s it was a rough place. So it's the most westerly point of the continental United States. It's right down there on the border of Tijuana. Actually, There it is right there. Here, I'll show you. Okay, here we go. Little visual aid for you there. Little visual aid. There we go. So we're looking over the Mexican border here. Right here is Imperial Beach. And right there is Bartertown, right there. That's Bartertown. Probably not anymore. It's Breezy's. The Breezes. Okay, so by the way, so this is San Diego. That it's the airport. When I want to take you to the airport. Where'd it go? Where's downtown? There it is. There's the convention center. That's where Comic-Con happens. And Encinitas is right there. So that's my hometown. Okay, so you got a geographical area there. I didn't mean to put a point there. So we're going to go down to Rosarito. Where did there we go. There's Ensenada. So this is kind of where they questioned some fishermen here. They all said kind of the same thing, but they all mentioned that Guadalupe Island is where the most stuff has happened, and that is where they went off the radar. So Guadalupe Island is a pretty trippy place. No Americans are allowed there, and it's way the hell down there. I mean, it's like if you look at it, that's where Guadalupe Island is. Interesting thing. It's got a couple of volcanoes right here that form the island. If you look here, it's all blurred out. Okay, so that's where a big old like Navy station is for the Mexican Navy. But when they were down there, they said there was a magnetic anomaly to the north of the island. Now, a bunch of the ocean is blurred out, but like, look at this. This is all blurred. Like you can see like topography there and there, but that's blurred and that's blurred. These are where the magnetic anomalies were. They didn't really explain what could be. There could be a large deposit of metal or something down there. Who knows? But I think it's very odd that there's been UFO sightings around this area. I remember growing up and being very pissed that I never saw a UFO because pretty much everybody I knew in SoCal saw a UFO. Like a bunch of people have seen them. So this is a hot spot, but I have never seen one. Pretty trippy island. The drone footage was pretty cool from the episode. So they talked to some fishermen. I don't know. The fishermen are gonna like they look so fucking happy to see people. I have a feeling they would tell them any story. But the marine biologist they talked to, that guy's legit. You see the size. I don't know if any of you saw that episode. You see that effing shark? Holy shit. So yeah, apparently this is like the best place in the world to see great white sharks. So very interesting episode. We get some corroborating witnesses. They all say pretty much the same thing as far as speed. They interviewed a pilot as well. Sounded really good. Then we get to the end of the episode, and then they tell the weirdest story. And I am telling you, I have paid attention very closely to ufology for 22, 23 years. Like it's been a major hobby of mine aside from comic book collecting. I mean, it's been a passion. I've read, it's the subject I've read the most books on. I'm really into the subject. Just take my word for it. And I have never, ever heard the story that they told at the end. So Lou Elizondo tells the story of, he quit the Pentagon out of protest because he wants the people to know this. And he says he's getting some clapback from certain officials, high up officials in the Pentagon, because they think the UFOs are demonic. Basically, George Knapp came on, and then Lou Elizondo basically saying it's Christian fundamentalists keeping us from knowing UFOs. I don't buy that for one fucking second. That is the biggest bullshit I have ever heard in the ufology. Certainly, I'm sure there might be a couple generals or whatever in the Pentagon who are pretty hardcore Christians. Demons, they're inviting Satan into the world. I'm not buying that. And then who fucking shows up after they say this? Fucking Panetta. Fucking Panetta. So, Mr. Email Leak from the convention. So I'm like, God damn it. You just fucked yourself now. So most of the UFO community is now going to think this is an op. And I saw Richard Dolan talking about this and trying to defend that it's not an op. And I still don't think it is, but that was so dumb to put him on, even though he said something perfectly innocent. And maybe he doesn't know. I have a feeling a lot of politicians don't have the clearance to find out about this shit. Leon Panetta, though, advisor to the Obama administration, and ran one of the worst campaigns in U.S. history, used password. No wonder why they're not going to fucking tell him anything about the UFOs. He used password on his email. Whether you, whatever side you're on, the guy used password for his email. Yeah, was no Russian hack. Sorry. So I just went, fuck. So yeah, we were making so much progress and it all just went to hell. Went to fucking hell after that. So I was like, God damn it. Anytime we start making any kind of progress in this field, it shoots itself in the foot. And maybe Tom DeLonge is I'm sure what side of the aisle. And I know Leon Panetta has shown up, in other ufologists, stuff. And maybe he is a believer, and no, I don't think he has the clearance to get anywhere near this stuff because, again, email password. But I think it was just tone deaf as hell, because if you know anything about the UFO community, they think everything's a goddamn op. And maybe they don't care what the UFO community thinks anymore, because honestly, if you're, listen, I have a thing to Gaia. I watch a couple of things on Gaia, but most of Gaia is not good for ufology. There's some good stuff there, but then there's David Wilcock. And we want the general public, we want the normies to take this stuff seriously, because we want the government to take this seriously, because I agree with the sentiment of the show. There might be a little bit of fear mongering going on, but this stuff is real. We should be taking it seriously. And I fully believe that our government is this big monolith. And they told a pretty good story about how it just gets wrapped up in bureaucracy. They even, one of the workers there even used the term 1960s Russia as our government. And I certainly do believe there is a deep state thing going on. There's like a little mini civil war going on in our government, and the deep state is on one side, and I think regular people are on the other. But Leon Panetta would be the guy I would put in the top 10 of the deep state, of just being a kind of person who's a deep state person. I don't know, but I just thought it was dumb to put him on there. I just thought it was dumb. Let's get to the chat. See what you guys are saying. YouTuber claimed a HARP station is down down this way. Wouldn't be surprised, Jack Random. There's a big HARP station. John Podesta. Did I say Leon Panetta? I'm sorry, John Podesta. Thank you, TBOD. Why did I say Panetta? Leon Panetta's was he the CIA guy, right? That's how much I pay attention to politics. Retract, John Podesta. Thank you, Cinema Queen. Like fucking dumb to put that on the show. In SoCal, most have Dr. Forbin Colossus. What's up? Well, the big difference in SoCal, like back in the 80s and now I'm sure a lot of people think they see UFOs there, but there's so many things flying in the sky over SoCal now. It's constant. So you can't decide one from the other sometimes. But back in the 80s, the skies were a little clearer down there, and a lot of people saw that stuff. So yeah, my bad. John Podesta. And John, here, I'll show you the guy who was on if you didn't see the episode. And it was fucking dumb to have that asshole on there. Because yeah, spirit cooking, old Cernovich really loved him. Yeah, not a whatever happened to Cernovich? Yeah, this guy. My work with the CIA taught me not to mess with the CIA, says Gamer Gambit. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't have to worry about messing with the CIA because they're not supposed to work within the continental United States, but apparently they do. Yeah, CIA. Yeah. Yeah, not surprised there, Joseph. I don't know how monolithic the government is when it comes to the secret info of any sort, but best way to ensure secrets get kept is to make sure nobody has 100% of the truth to spill. And I think that's how it's dealt with. I think a very small number of people know actually what's going on. And I don't think it's politicians. I don't think they listen, the presidents don't even know what's going on. So what is happening? I think it's an op. I think it is a trickle disclosure op. I think it is, they are preparing the public. Now, the question is why? Why now? Did the government just wake up one morning and go, we should be honest to the public about this situation? No. I think there are just more and more people in the government. It's becoming less of a stigma. So I don't think it's an op like they're trying to distract us from something else. I just think it's we can't keep this a secret much longer because we're getting more and more people who believe UFOs and less people who are going to be quiet, to the point where we have a guy like Lou Elizondo, which this is what it was going to take. A guy who studied this stuff. He can't talk about a bunch of it, comes out and says, enough is enough. The public needs to know about this. The Navy has publicly said now we're going to destigmatize these reports. And we're finding out that a lot of people, listen, airline pilots, they don't talk about it. Most of them have seen something. Well, so many people have seen something that we should figure out what it is, whatever it is. Aliens, there's a civilization under the water, and freaking Prince Namor's down there. I mean, I don't know. Transdimensional beings. China has leapfrogged us in technology. Whatever it is, we should probably be prepared. Yeah. I agree with the sentiment that if you have blinders on, you're going to get blindsided. I completely agree with that. Do I think it's a threat? Not yet. Because I am of the belief they've been here for a long time. I have a feeling there's more than one civilization. If you want to look at it practically, if they're super advanced, they either don't see us as a threat, don't think much of us, and hopefully they're benevolent enough to, like, maybe we want these people to develop on their own, but they have an interesting planet that we want to study. And I think they kind of showed their cards how advanced they are with the Nimitz incident, which is they don't see us as a threat whatsoever. And the pilots were stating during if you go to their YouTube, they stated it seemed like they just wanted us to leave them alone. So the only time they'd ever react is when one of our planes would get too close and would go get like a fly, like a flight. Yeah. And that could be good. That could be bad. I don't know. But I think if you're going to go as far as to believe in aliens, and if you're going to go as far to believe that they're here, what's the best place to hide? Would you want to dig in the ground or just use the big old ocean? And that's what I think they use. This pilot, I think the craziest thing about the Nimitz incident is the whatever was just under the surface of the water that was bigger than the Tic Tacs that was making the water bubble and stuff, which, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. I'm thinking mothership, something like that. I'm thinking these white things are drones, but they're drones, not our drones. They're drones. And they are doing something. What? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. And they're so advanced. What are we going to do? We're just lucky they don't make us a slave race. We're lucky they've advanced way beyond us. And we don't get a little universal karma on our ass as a species. Although a lot of us are innocent and didn't do anything. Let's get to the chat there. Let's get to the chat. Can aliens swim? How's your father? If they had swimming lessons, how's your father? Obviously. I'm more afraid of giant sea monsters than aliens. Yeah, I'm not afraid of aliens. If I really think about it. But as much as I believe in UFOs and aliens, it's not 100%. It's really close, but it's not 100%. Because sometimes it hits me, it's like, this shit's actually real. That's wow. Because it does fundamentally change everything. But society is so entrenched, I don't think it would. I think people would freak out for a couple days and then the aliens wouldn't show up and they would just go about their day, honestly. Aliens are bound to be revealed to us, humanity, as real beings within the next 50 to 100 years. Silhouetted animator. That I believe. Yes. I didn't think it would be in my lifetime, and I'm starting to think it may be in our lifetime. I don't think we're going to meet any, but I think we'll get there's documents out there already. There is documents out there already that say as much. It's just, I mean, we as a species are really good at rationalizing and not believing things. And ufology is still met with a hostility of non-belief. And I've never understood the hostility of non-belief, like hostile atheists and hostile UFO non. That's like saying I really don't like pizza. Okay, you don't like pizza. I won't serve you pizza. Calm down, Um, I mean, I can understand you being mad about a bad pizza, but just not wanting to eat it. Okay, don't eat it. I don't get it. No, like I said, I'm not a religious person, but I wouldn't give anybody shit for being religious. If it makes you happy, rock on. Bop, bop. Jedi Knight and friend to Elite. Anything Podesta endorses is an op 100%. Yeah. And that's what people are going to believe, whether it is or not. And I don't blame you. Putting him on that show pretty much guaranteed people are not going to believe this now. It was completely stupid. So if you guys are listening out there, dumb move. I know you probably thought this might add some legitimacy to our. You do realize he was part of the most divisive election in the country's history? Well, I don't think it was as divisive as the media will make it out to be. We'll say divisive in the media. Is that a fair statement? I don't know about the general public. Bing Maps has clearer images of Guadalupe Island. Oh, good. I will not go to Bing though. That's bad. Google's bad enough. I don't want to give Microsoft all my information too, although they probably already have it. And I don't have my VPN on. All right. I'm back. Got to read a ton now. That's okay. That's okay. I've got to read. Oh, I had a UFO, a Bigfoot video that I'm going to show you guys towards the end. You can't hear the sound, and that's too bad. It's an old one, and I honestly thought it got debunked, but apparently it didn't. So yeah. Oh, look who's here. Cotton candy hair Jeremy for $1.99. Just sub to this channel. Interesting topic. Thanks, brother. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I get weird over on this channel. As opposed to not being weird on the other channel. You understand that, right? Cotton candy hair. It's always great to see the Jeremys, especially cotton candy hair Jeremy. Dr. Venkman, $9.99. Off subject. YouTubers need to come together and cross the streams to battle the new YouTube algorithm. Keep fight, Gary. Always a pleasure to watch your content. Keep on believing. Thank you. There is some effery going on with particularly Richard Dolan's channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed, and if anybody here knows him, please pass this on. I don't know if they've noticed that every time he finishes a stream, a debunking video starts of any kind. It just debunks something. It's about everything that follows him is about fake news or debunking. So yeah, they're trying to I was looking for the strange sounds in the sky video, which you used to all you had to do is put strange sounds in the sky, and maybe it was just my search. Okay. But I found some, but it was difficult, and it used to not be difficult. All the videos would come up, but it was all the strange sounds in the sky debunked, or this is the strange sound in the sky. It's like, no, I just want the raw recordings of the weird sounds in the sky because they've been coming back lately. Turd Burglar for $1.99. Have you and Doomcock been taking a break? No, not at all. We do a weekly show. We do the Inquisition on Sunday, which kind of took the Exozone time slot, but we wanted to kind of take advantage of the massive crowds we were having for the Game of Thrones. Like we got like almost 20,000 people watching us on a live stream. So we wanted to take advantage of that and do a pop culture thing. Exozone, as you just heard, YouTube is really clamping down on UFO subject and stuff. So I don't even want to mess with it on my channel, to be honest with you. But that's why I have this channel. So yeah, it's Doomcock's schedule. I'm available. And we talked about a day next week. And yeah, we're going to do it. We will be doing it next week. RX7FD9782, $10. Thank you very much. Hail Gary. Michio Kaku really is a great guy. Saw him speak in South Texas a few years ago. His optimism was refreshing compared to the other TV scientists. By the way, these solo Project Beekler streams are great. Wow, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I wasn't sure if I was going to do one tonight, but I'm like, I feel like live streaming. Like at the time, nobody else was either. So I was like, what the hell? Jack Random, $2. A YouTuber claimed a HARP station is down that way. And I already read that one, but yes. Echo Based Network, $4.99. What's up? I 100% believe in aliens, and some of this UFO stuff is demonic. Georgia State University did an interesting study on the very subject. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Nah, I don't know. I think it can be perceived as that. I think there's some bad aliens. Sure. Demonic in the sense of supernatural. I don't know. I believe in ghosts. I do. I believe in the supernatural. I don't know on that one though. I'll need some convincing on that one. But I entertain any thought. I do. Echo Base Network, $9.99. A swig of Jack and a water for the working man. Loved your video of the Orville on Geeks and Gamers. Awesome. Thanks. We are less than 30 subs away for 400 and doing our third giveaway tomorrow for retro Star Wars figures. Thanks for all your support. Hey, no problem, dude. And hang on, let me get to your channel here so I can link it. Star Wars Episode 9. Hey, you hear that? Rise of Skywalker. That's the Echo. That's the Echo Based Network. Now they're going to copyright strike me, aren't you guys? Yeah, I got to look into that. It's kind of like crossing genres there, Oh, thanks, Mary Ashmead. She says Happy Father's Day. Yeah, it's almost It's not quite Father's Day here, but I bet you it is where you are. I bet you it is where you are. There's Echo Base Network's channel. Give them a sub. They are good members of the Fandom Menace, and we greatly appreciate them. Okay. I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of that. Don't want too many windows up. Okay. Back to you guys. Back to you, Chet. Gamer Gambit, $5. Seen many interesting things, but never seen anything to convince me aliens are real. If you want to chat, just reach out. DM'd you on Twitter. All right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen an alien, but I've read a ton on it, studied it, and there are some very, very legit cases. And I think we are experiencing the reveal of the very, I bet you there's better, but so far this is, we have more people coming out every day as this show goes on. I think by the end, we're going to have 20 people saying the same thing who were trained observers. By the way, the government is allowing them to do this. I mean, that's significant. Why? I don't know. Maybe things got loosened up, you know? Maybe the deep state took an L a couple of years ago, and I mean, they're not gone, trust me. But yeah, maybe stuff is opening up. I don't know. We can only hope. It all depends on how you define demon. This is true. I personally think there are just like the apex predator of a specific band of, if consciousness, not pure evil per se, just hungry. Well, yeah, that's a good way to put it. But when I hear demon, I think like supernatural Christian, you know, like hell demon, like hell spawn. Yeah. But I tell you what, Father Malachi Martin's interviews with Art Bell are chilling, absolutely chilling. And I don't know. I just think why would a Catholic diocese make up boogeyman stories when I mean, he was high up and he was an exorcist. He also took into account mental health. Really, don't judge the man till you've heard his interviews. Are they the best Art Bell interviews? I'm going to say yes. The Father Malachi Martins are slightly better than the Bob Lazar, because Bob Lazar was telling the truth, but he was always such a curmudgeon. Where Father Malachi Martin sounded like he just was having the best time in the world talking to Art Bell. So search out those interviews. They are good. You want to get good and creeped out. So Dave, speaking of creeped out, Missing 411 is coming out with another documentary about hunters. So I'm looking forward to that. That hit Secure Team recently, which was very, very good. Very good. We love Secure Team. At least I do. Echo Based Network, thank you for the 2 super chats for $4.99, $9.99. It is my pleasure to shout out your channel. And well, let's get you. You're almost at 400. Yeah, maybe we can get you up to 1,000, get you monetized. That'd be nice. I think we could do that if we shout you out enough over the course of a couple weeks. We can do it, especially if we get Jeremy on board. Yeah. No, that was a pleasure to do that Orville video. I actually shot like 4 of them. I did. I was tripping, because I was doing something for Geeks for somebody else, and I'm like, it's got to be good. But to get the Seth tweet today was, and I don't know if they're related, but they have to be. And I messaged Jeremy, and I just said, you see, I said something to the effect, they're watching. Like, they are totally watching. And don't think it's just the big channels. Don't think that for 1 second, because we had Expanse creatives watching my channel when it had 1,000 subs. They are watching. They're watching Echo Based Network. They watch YouTube. They want to know what people are saying. They're most definitely watching. So continue to not watch what you say. Be yourself. don't worry if they're watching. Saw a Skinwalker Ranch program yesterday. Mary Ashmead, yeah, that's been showing. Thank you for the $2. Mary, you're not supposed to be super chatty. You do enough work. You're near Skinwalker Ranch. So I listened to a Skinwalker Ranch interview last night as I was going to sleep. Never a good idea. Never a good idea. Weird dreams. Jack Random asks for $2. How many different types visit us, do you think? Well, back in the 80s, the first ever episode of Art Bell I ever listened to, I'll never forget, there was a guy on talking about there being 14 alien species. Now the number is like ridiculous. It's in the thousands. But I remember him talking about 14. There's the ones from Zeta Reticuli, which might be the Nordics. And then there's the ones from, oh man, not Alpha Centauri. Small furry creatures come from Alpha Centauri. That's a hitchhiker. So there's the grays, which are probably just drones. So there's the praying mantis ones. There's the blonde Nordics. There's the grays, who are probably just drones. And then there's one I haven't heard mentioned a lot, but I remember hearing it on let's see if I can find them. They were called the Red. The government called them the Red, and they're like the Nordics, but they have red hair. And they're taller, humanoid. But I haven't heard them mentioned a lot. So nope. Let's see. No, doesn't even come up now. I distinctly remember hearing that, though. They were called the Red. Well, what is it? Octopi are considered possible aliens, that they don't really match up to anything that comes from the planet. They have very unique DNA, something like that. That'd be weird. That'd be weird. That would be weird. That the aliens were here and they were octopi. Gamer Gambit, $5. See many interesting. Oh, I've already read that one. But he DM'd me. Fireside Chats, $2. Anal probes, aliens or government testing or hoax? Yes. The answer is yes to all three of those. Some stuff is a government hoax to cover up stuff. Some stuff is a hoax by human beings, because human beings are human beings. And some stuff is actual legit aliens. As far as alien abduction goes, Travis Walton, I think has a very legit. I think he has a legit story. I got to meet him at Contact. That was cool. And Betty and Barney Hill have a real legit case. Tech Guy, $5. I think the demonic aliens would be energy beings. I mean, demons aren't really winged black things walking around. Really, they possess, etc. They must be energy. Yeah, like poltergeists and stuff. Yeah. There are evil things. I know there's a lot of people who out there just, life's a big accident, nothing's planned, and there's no such thing as evil, and there's no such thing as good. Things just are. I don't believe that at all. I've seen evil things. I've seen evil people do evil things. I've seen the look in their eye, and it's inhuman. I've been some places where you just feel the darkness, and that could be human energy. I don't know. But I've seen too many things to think that there's, yes, it exists. Absolutely. Michio Kaku said it in this episode. He said, we have a certain set of physics right now, but we're a type 0 civilization. And he talks about this a lot. There's a type 0 civilization which hasn't harnessed. We still run things off of dead plants. You become a type 1 civilization when you've harnessed the power of the planet. So it's based on energy consumption and what you use. If you're a type 2 civilization, you've harnessed the power of a sun. And if you're a type 3 civilization, you're basically a gods, and you've harnessed the power of black holes and stuff like that. So chances are the people who are visiting us are type 2 civilizations. So they're thousands of years more advanced than us. So basically, yeah, they don't even look at us like chimpanzees. They look at us like your more advanced insect, basically. So that could explain a lot. Michael Wolf, 10 New Zealand dollars from Middle Earth. What's up, my friend? In New Zealand, 1978, we had the famous I can't pronounce that. Kia Lure light sightings, where an Australian TV crew recorded them, and they appeared in the Wellington ATC radar sighted. I've heard this one. Is there a video on that? Maybe I haven't seen video of that. I'm gonna copy that name right there. Damn, I rearranged my office and I got this freaking light shining me in the eye. I'm gonna have to fix that. It's bugging me. Incident Australia. Yeah, the the Kaikouru lights. Kaikouru. And it was 1978, huh? It was just before midnight on December the 30th, 1978, at this Argosy aircraft. Here, I'll show you guys. Not going to be able to do this for long. Hangouts is going away. Took off in New Zealand on a newspaper delivery route. It followed the route taken 10 days earlier by a plane which had reported weird flying objects off the Kaikoura coast. Objects Kaikoura by radar controllers in Wellington. Now a TV crew was on board with Australian reporter Quentin Fogarty. We're now approaching the Clarence River, where the highest concentration of UFOs was sighted on the morning of December the 21st. At an altitude of 14,000 feet, and we're on exactly the same route taken by Captain Bell when he encountered those mysterious objects. It's a beautiful clear night outside, and naturally we'll be looking out for anything unusual. Hardly had Fogarty spoken when things began to happen. We've just heard from Wellington radar that we've got an object about a mile behind us and it's following us. Let's hope they're friendly. It's really getting a bit frightening up here. There's a whole formation of unidentified flying objects behind us. But there were closer encounters to come. On the return journey from Christchurch, Fogarty spotted another object. It's extremely bright. Much brighter than any of the other stars in the sky. Now it's just dimmed, it's gone. It's back again. It appears to be going behind cloud. I can't quite make out whether in fact it's going behind cloud or whether in fact the light is just dimming. No, it's such a bright light, it's lighting up the clouds around it. It's by far the best of the unidentified flying objects we've seen so far. According to cameraman David Crockett, who's been filming it for the past few moments, it appears to have a brightly lit bottom and a transparent sort of sphere on top. So it appears to be... God damn, hold your camera still. Like a flying saucer. This looks like a little... Right in front of us. You're right. Damn. I hadn't seen this. Looks like an aircraft beacon. Seems to be rolling and turning. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. After the plane landed at Blenheim, the investigation began. Skeptics suggested they'd seen the planet Venus, but most of the film was taken more than half an hour before Venus could have been visible. An American Navy physicist, Dr. Bruce Maccabee, analyzed the film and rejected theories that it showed meteors or ships or birds. Several of the objects had shown up on radar screens. One of them had left this extraordinary trail on a single frame of film. Wow.
And although the start of this sequence is out of focus, some frames seem to show what the TV crew and pilots said they'd seen. A luminous base with a transparent top.
I love that.
Maccabees
Dig that 70s music, man. Wow. Hope that was entertaining for you all. Hope you're not all gone. That was pretty cool. Thanks. I've got some weird. Now, have any of you seen the Marble Mountain Bigfoot footage? Someone check that symbol. Yeah, that's what I thought it looked kind of like a symbol too. I think it did. That was cool. Thanks. You friggin' Aussies smuggling meth and DC Comics. I still love you. Aussie. Oh my God. I just freaking completely insulted you by calling you an Aussie. You're from New Zealand. I will slap myself repeatedly later. Cardinal Sin, $1.99. Gary, have you seen the humanoid database online? Yes, I have. That is pretty cool. Actually went down the rabbit hole on that one on an exozone. And we will in the future as well. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Good to see you back. Eric K, $5. Gary, please check your email tomorrow if you get a chance. Eric K, I will check it tonight. It's still early enough. I'll be up for like another hour or so. Starlin, thank you for the $5. I greatly appreciate it. And yes, I will check it tonight. Starlin Vander, 10 pounds. The universe is vast. So the chance of each galaxy having one kind of species is small, but even if 12 galaxies only have one species, that will still be a lot different alien species, and we're young. Yeah. Well, I think civilizations have come and gone, Starlin, as you do too. Thank you for the 10 pounds. I'm pretty sure our galaxy is teeming with life. It is freaking overflowing with life. But we are on the unfashionable end of the Western spiral arm, if you remember. Ed and Eddie TV $4.99. Do we not already harness the power of the sun, or does solar energy not count? Apparently, it doesn't count according to Michio Kaku, and I will defer to him on that one. Eric K, $2. Very cool. The Seth MacFarlane thing. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I never thought a creative would, and they generally won't show me any love because I'm critical of stuff. Very critical of Hollywood. And, but I will tell you right now, considering some of the emails I get, I think there's a lot more people than you think on our side in Hollywood. They're just not the ones in power yet. I think there's a great power shift going on, as it's playing out right now on the internet with the dinosaur media companies coming after us YouTubers. I think that was honestly the only bad thing is I would say bring it on, but we're losing like innocent channels who have nothing to do with this crap, and I don't want that to happen. So I don't want to encourage any more of that. So we do need to absolutely band together as content creators, and that includes you. You guys are part of this. Many of you have your own channels, but when you take part in a live stream, like I don't want this to go away. I honestly would rather watch a good live stream than most TV nowadays. I would say the only shows I can really recommend to you that would have the nerdrotic seal of approval that are on the air right now are Legion, Altered Carbon, The Orville, The Expanse, Taboo if it ever comes back. There's maybe a handful of shows I can just say yes, you can watch them. Swamp Thing's good. Yeah, Eric, that was cool. Echo Base Network for $1.99. Did you see our short rush hour Doomcock video meme? I did not. Is it on your channel? I'll watch it. Or is it like on Twitter? I'm not. No, I did not. Sorry. I will take a look at it. I did see Black Angus's casting of the Phantom Menace as Game of Thrones characters, and they cast me as Aemon Targaryen because I'm old. But I actually took that as a compliment. I did. Aemon was one of my favorite characters, and I thought that was really cool. Cold Fusion Waffles for $5. Hail, Gary, he who is the only survivor of Vault 75. Right. Oh, the wonder to wander the wasteland, arranging letter blocks in his name throughout the wasteland. Yes, that's me. Rolling in the wasteland, my friend. Eric K, $2. What's your theory on old underwater structures? As far as like sunken cities, my theory is that the Atlantis myth is actually an oral history that is probably misinterpreted. And what Atlantis probably was an advanced, ancient, distant past ancient civilization that was able to map the world, travel the world. I think they were advanced in a very different way than we are. I don't think they had spaceships and went to the moon or anything like that. But I agree with Graham Hancock, as they were probably like 1800s advanced, like, which is still pretty damn advanced, because again, they were able to map the world. I mean, there's a lot of weird, unexplainable things that are facts in history, that just don't make any sense if you use the current, I will call it dogma from mainstream archaeology right now. It's pretty fascinating. But I was just at the Mediterranean, and I was rolling around Sicily, and I was on like ancient things. It was amazing. I've never like been to places that old. I've done a lot of traveling, but I've never seen ancient ruins like that. And I was Mrs. Nerdrotic was laughing because it was the longest period of time I have been quiet ever. And I was at this Greek amphitheater, and I think I just stared at it for 3 hours. Yeah, I was there for 3 hours, and I just walked around it and explored the whole area, and it was crazy. It's just, the things are massive for one. You're like, how the hell did they make these things? But I did see some of those polygonal rocks, and then I talked to some of the locals around there, and they said, yeah, no, they're just finding out a bunch of evidence of an ancient civilization that predates everybody, that they don't have a name for them. They don't even know what they are, but they were a civilization, and they were there before anybody. Atlanteans, I guess that's the best way to, it's still one of those things you get laughed at. But I think the work of Graham Hancock has been, I think he will be, it's good to see him get the credit that is due. But I still think a lot of people laugh at that stuff, and they shouldn't, because they need to read his books. They need to read his books. He's very thorough researcher. Ian Moon for $2. Alien Con will be in LA this month. I tweeted it to. Yes, thank you, Ian. It's going to be next week. If I hadn't just gone to Contact in the Desert, I'd go. But I just went to Contact in the Desert. Yeah, it's on the 20th, so it's on the 1st. And I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con, and I've got to save my money. Because after that is Vegas, the big Vegas trip, which should be interesting. A lot of people are going, are converging on Vegas. I think they're more with I think there's a Vegas crew going, and there's Mecca's going, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say who all's going, but there's people going. I'm trying to get other YouTubers to go. And yeah, I'm working on a meetup place, but the tricky thing is I'm going with my entire family. So I'm bringing both my kids, wife, but I can definitely do the meetup thing and hang out a couple nights for sure. But if you're going down to San Diego, I'm going solo. So if anybody wants to hang or anything, let me know. Ed, and Eddie for $19.99. I'm sure you've seen The Fifth Element, but I believe there is something that separates as humans from any advanced civilization that's out there. Things like love, compassion, etc. And maybe this fascinates them. Uh, I don't think you're wrong on that one. I don't think you're wrong. There was one of the abductees. I can't remember what show it was. I think it was. I think it was it was a George Nori one, where one of the abductees was talking about how there is an advanced race out there that doesn't have, um, what's the word for it? They don't have imagination, which I don't know how you get advanced without imagination, but they're basically like Kalons. They're robotic, but they're not AI. I think they're the insects, and yeah, the whole imagination and creativity thing is like they don't have it, which is interesting. Comes with consciousness, and it's a certain type of consciousness. This is the times I wish Doomcock was here because he could really explain that stuff better than I can. Matthew Werney for $5. Harnessing the sun would be more like a Dyson sphere on the Next Generation episode Relics. A solar panel on somebody's Winnebago doesn't count. Doesn't cut it. Unfortunately, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I wish I had a Winnebago. That's funny. That's the tribe that my wife is part Native American, and her tribe is the Winnebago. Yes. What's your theory on old underwater structures? I read that already. What's my theory on reading the same thing twice and forgetting about it because I did a lot of drugs in the 80s? Well, I did a lot of drugs in the 80s. Let's get back to the chat now. Meow. Robert Smith retracted his message. It was probably you probably went F because you lost a bunch of music in that music fire in 2008, and you just found out. Matthew Werney for $2. No imagination. That's it. Kurtzman is an alien. Oh man, that is it. I think we should study him. I think somebody should go probe him. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm really wondering if Seth saw that video though. Because what did I say? I made a couple of cracks about him hiring his ex-girlfriends. No, I just mentioned that they were his ex-girlfriends. I think I cut those out. I think I cut the jokes out. But I also said that he pitched his idea to CBS, and CBS told him to pound sand. And I bet you that's a bee in his bonnet a little bit. I bet you that pissed him off. And I bet you his Star Trek probably would have been damn good. Now, though, I've seen the Orville. Could you imagine if he was doing it? Could you imagine how healthy the franchise would be right now? Oh my God. Right after I did my Doctor Who video, I got really pissed in my Doctor Who video, and I was just thinking of like what could have been if they'd have just towed the line. I mean, just like even been semi-complacent, the Doctor Who would have been in a better space. Kaylee's birthday is in 23 hours. Well, happy early birthday, Kaylee. You're going to be old enough to drink. 21. It's a very good age. This makes me so angry. I don't want you to be angry, Captain Mary Sue SJW. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. I guess the Orville is just the next Star Trek. I was talking to my insider today. We just chit chat. There was no news. But well, I guess I can say this because I've said it before. CBS, if when it becomes Viacom again, because this is happening, it's going to get back together. Kurtzman's not going to survive that, by the way, and I don't think Star Trek is. this current version of it. I think they're going to do a hard reset. This is just my opinion. My insider has said nothing to this effect, by the way. This is just my opinion. But the insider did say that they are going to make a move to try to buy Sony. So there's an interesting thing with that. If they buy Sony, do Spider-Man rights stay or go? Now, my insider thinks that they revert back to Marvel. But yeah, I don't know. That's something to think about. But the whole point of that is it's going to be like 5 or 6 years till we get another good Trek, which really sucks. Mark C, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. $5. I don't need a Star Trek episode to see a Dyson sphere. I just need to look at my vacuum. Oh, my Dyson vacuum. Yes, my Dyson. Mark C. Yeah, what's going on with RBM lately, man? So he was his I didn't watch the whole live stream, but I saw some of it, and he was talking about Digital Bits got hit with some they got hit with a lot of information, and it was from a data farm in the Ukraine, which isn't Russian, by the way. It's not Russian, it's Ukrainian. And he talked about like Russian bots and that it's a fact that it's happening. And yes, there are people in Russia hacking computers in America, as there are people in the Philippines hacking computers in America, and there's actually more people in China hacking into our computers than anywhere. And that somehow doesn't get mentioned ever for some reason. I wonder why it doesn't get mentioned. Is it because we're doing a bunch of business with them in Hollywood? Do you think that's it? Because it's kind of funny. I mean, like, listen, love my Chinese friends. I live in San Francisco. It's a huge Chinese population. I've worked with a lot of cool people. But human rights violations are pretty bad over there. So that people don't want to work in Georgia, but they're okay with distributing movies in China, where there's actual there's like really bad stuff going on. So I think it all cancels out. And guess what? We have hackers hacking into other people's computers in their countries too. So I think it all kind of cancels out. And I just want to tell people that don't believe the narrative that Captain Marvel was actually a good movie and most people liked it. And that's not the case. I think it was split. I think it was a meh movie that half the people like went, it's pretty good. Okay, didn't care. And then the half people hated it. Because a bunch of bots didn't subscribe to me and Jeremy and Anna over those 2-3 months, and Doomcock. What are your thoughts on the Quentin Tarantino Trek? Cardinal Sin for $1.99. Curiosity. The rated R Quentin Tarantino Trek. I would totally watch it as a curiosity. I wouldn't count it in my head as a real. It would be kind of like the first Abrams Star Trek, which like by itself, I can say I enjoy that movie for what it is, an alternate reality that's not supposed to mess with current canon, even with the Romulus thing sucks. I hate it. And what it's given us, though, I find it's harder for me to enjoy that movie by itself, considering what it spawned. So let's just say that. That's how I would watch it. But it's not going to happen. It's not happening. Trust me. Because I think that deal is with JJ Trek, and I think it's through Paramount, and Paramount's license is about to run out. So they can't make movies because they have a license with CBS right now. They have permission to make them, but that's about to run out, and they need to start making that movie quick. And we know Quentin Tarantino does nothing quick. So it's all hot air in the wind. It's not going to happen. But I would watch it if he made it. But would I count it as Trek? No. R-rated Trek? Nah. Star Trek, I should be able to take my kid to Star Trek. And a Quentin Tarantino Trek, if it came out in the 90s when we had a ton of Trek and it would have been something fresh and different, sure. Right now, I mean, honestly, I would love a traditional trek, but we have it with the Orville, to be quite honest with you. I think RMB is taking heat from his friends in Hollywood, so his show shifts depending on how the winds are blowing. Yes, I think he's been very nice to me. Okay, he said some very nice things about me, and I have nothing bad to say about him personally. Like I've said before, he looks like a very cool person that I would absolutely sit down and I would buy him an alcoholic beverage and I would drink a cup of coffee, and sure, he and I would talk for hours, hours. If the culture war wasn't going on, I think he is the very best of the regions he's in. Does that make sense? The colliders and stuff like that. Like there is, he's the very best of them. And I think he's the most common sense of them, but he's still there and he's still in that culture. And even though you try not to drink the Kool-Aid is in everything. It's in the spaghetti, it's in the burger, it's in your, fat burger, it's in your Pink's hot dogs. It's everywhere. It's in your carne asada burrito. So it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. And he's a creative and he wants to work in the field, and you have to toe the line. That's part of what's working there. And that's why I did not work that well there. I am not a toe the line person. And I say that with some pride, but that also doesn't really work out for me in a lot of places. It doesn't. Listen, a lot of times in life, you need to be that person. Unfortunately, I'm not wired that way, and it's put me in some shitty situations sometimes. The ability to YouTube, part of it is the ability to talk and call out some bullshit. That doesn't go well in the corporate environment. It doesn't. But yeah, Mark C, you're brilliant. It's good to see you here. Lost an Act for $4.99. Hell of a leap from primate to man. Interfering from others. Oh, that one I'm pretty. There was either interference or we are from somewhere else. There's a lot of there's a lot of just common sense evidence that scientists will poo-poo, but like ask yourself this, just a couple of things. Why aren't we covered in fur? Because we have to wear clothes. Everything on Earth adapts to its surroundings, mostly, not everything, but most everything does. So the whole theory of evolution is you adapt to your surroundings. Now, there could be an argument that we've become reliant on clothing because of our consciousness and it drew us away from nature, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. But there's all, and that's probably it. But why aren't we covered in fur? Number two, and this one was brought up on Art Bell, and I thought it was fascinating. So I'm repeating this information. I did not make it up. One of the commonalities with humans on this planet is we have a lot of back pain. We have a lot of back injuries. And it's our posture and how we walk. And it's almost like our bodies weren't made for this gravity. I thought that sounded good to me. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. There's chronic back pain is a thing with like a lot of humans. And we're supposed to be able to sleep on the ground naked, which I do all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Lost an Act, $4.99. So long time listener, and thank you sincerely for all the content. Oh, really? Thank you sincerely for listening. Thank you sincerely for the super chat. Thank you guys for allowing me to do. This is the most fun I've had doing something that can pay the bills ever. Like, this is phenomenal. I have so much goddamn fun. I wake up in the morning fired up. Yeah. And it's funny as hell telling my my in-laws and my family, like my moms don't have any concept of what I do. My mom bitches all the time about me not calling her. And I tell her, she's getting up there, okay? So I've shown her like a million times like how to use Facebook and how to watch. You can see me every day, Mom. But she's like, I know I'm messing the buttons and blah, blah, blah. Moms. She wants me to call her. So I call her once in a while, but it's never enough. But yeah, telling the in-laws like what I do, and especially my father-in-law, it's like, it's funny. It's funny. If my dad was around, that would be a kick. Gamer Gambit, $5. Ciao. It's Italian food for good omens. It's Italian for food. Good omens explain the truth of our existence. We just all need flaming sword and our crepes. Solve all problems. Agreed. And Good Omens was good. It was like one of the good shows out there. It really was. The only thing I thought was a bit much. I'll probably do a review. I'll do a review. And I'll talk about like a couple things that was like, that was changed for television. Oh, Classic Comics. What's up? $5. Why aren't we covered in fur? Perhaps inventing fire made fur superfluous. Also, what do you think of the notion that that there were intelligent dinosaurs? I think there were. I mean, I don't think they were talking and high-fiving, but I think scientifically they've kind of, remember, dinosaurs all had really small brains. But as science advances, there's really effing smart birds, like really smart birds. So if there were smart birds and birds were dinosaurs, I'm thinking there might have been smart dinosaurs. And though it wasn't the Velociraptor supposed to be a smart one? I mean, I don't know. I think it's fascinating that we find so many dinosaur bones, and we're finding new species like all the time, but we can't find the missing link. We can't find bones of a human being. It's like finding a unicorn, but we can find freaking dinosaurs everywhere. Why? It's weird. And I'm not suggesting at all that human beings like, hung out with the dinosaurs. No. I just find it interesting that we can find bones of something that lived millions of years ago, but we can't find bones of something that lived 100,000 years ago. It's interesting. Something to bring up. Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy, $4.99. Had to give a shout out to Echo Base Network for doing a video promoting Drunk 3PO's charity. Yes, that's right. I did see that. Hey, I did see that. Helping kids in El Salvador, class act. Yeah. For being a lush, he's pretty classy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I will share that. That's very cool, man. That's excellent. See, we have good people here in the Fandom Menace. We're not going to parties and doing a bunch of coke. Well, maybe some of you are, but you're giving to charity when you're done. You're not spending it all on coke, which is good. Captain Mary Sue SJW $1.99. I knew somebody would ask me. What do you think of the Al Bielek Art Bell interview? When I heard it at the time, I was all in. I was like, oh, I believe this stuff. Al Bielek, nah, I don't believe him. I think he's I would love to believe his story. I really would, because it's an awesome story. He should have just wrote a damn book. I do think the Philadelphia experiment happened, though. But thank you, Captain Mary Sue SJW. That's a great name. Euler Greg, $2. Euler Greg. Remember the Houston Oilers? They had the best song. CERN collapsing dimensions, Mandela aliens affected. Ooh. That's possible. Well, I totally believe that it was almost like a first contact situation, that when we blew up our first our first atomic bomb, that was time to come down, not meet us, but check on us, because that is a leap. That is a civilizational leap. So, and then all of a sudden UFOs started showing up. So yeah, I think absolutely they detected it. They came down here like, okay, the monkeys know how to blow stuff up now. So let's keep an eye on them. The monkeys we created. our slave race to mine gold, whatever it was. And yeah, I think I think CERN was another one of those things. And I think we are messing with something. Honestly, it's great that we're finding these new elements, but like, what's the real payoff? I'm sure there is one. I'm absolutely certain there is one, because look at look at how big that thing is. Look at how much money was spent. Look at how many countries collaborated on this. What are we getting out of it? I mean, okay, we can make little black holes and we're finding new elements, but like, is it going to make a flying car? What are we getting out of it? Like what? And I'm sure there's an answer, but I'd like to hear a short answer for in layman's terms. Other than the Mandela effect, I totally think something can happen there that they're not expecting, because Michio Kaku was being interviewed by our Bill, and I've told you guys this before, and he couldn't definitively say, no, we're not going to cause a black hole. Hey, I like cocaine. Don't hate. LOL, says Nicholas Glenn. Snowflame. Hey, I got my Snowflame comic, by the way. So I'm going to read it on the air. It's New Guardians #2. And yeah, Snowflame. Nicholas Glenn, don't do too much of that stuff. I know you're joking, but seriously, don't. It's bad. It's very bad. I got a effed up nose to prove it. I could barely smell. Do you know? I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but I can barely smell things. And I think I only have one nostril. Jeez, it's getting late. Okay, let's go back to the regular chat. There is a lot of you here, for Pete's sake. Oh, I wanted to share this with you. Okay, let's look at the Bigfoot stuff. I'll turn the microphone on too. So apparently this has been debunked, but then I've heard that it wasn't debunked. So I don't know. But when I saw this video for the first time, I was blown away. So it's a youth group. Let me set the table here. There's a place called Marble Mountain here in California. It's up north by the Oregon border. Bigfoot country. So this youth camp, it's a bunch of special needs kids with on a camping trip with some so it's a bunch of special needs kids and counselors, and they come across a Bigfoot shelter, and while they're there, the Bigfoot comes down the ridge and sees them and starts getting pissed off, and like is pacing, but it doesn't come at them. It doesn't charge down at them or anything. At first, like one kid gets scared and runs away, but everybody else is kind of going, look at the Bigfoot, and then the one thing that makes it kind of real though is one wife is chastising the husband, going, when somebody comes down and it's Larry, you're going to erase this video or you're going to look like an idiot. Larry never came down, and you can kind of see the long arms and stuff, but I'll show you the video. And I mean, again, if it's a fake, they were trying to scare special needs kids, then there's a special place in hell for these guys. And kind of funny that they didn't scare the special needs kids. The kids were great. I mean, one ran away, but one goes, I'm going back to camp, fuck this. And then but the other ones are just like, hey, Bigfoot, and throwing rocks at it and stuff, and it was kind of funny. It's 2001, so it's 2001 quality video. And Marble Mountain, I'm going to present to everybody. I'm going to put the microphone up, and hopefully you can hear it, and hopefully I won't get in trouble. This thing's got 1 million views, but it's old. Yeah, 2011. Strange encounter at Marble Mountain.
Come up there on the center thing, because he's going that.
I found a little bit of snow, some piled logs, but as we wander up, into the trees a little bit, we notice that there's a pile of a brush here. And as we look inside, we find out that something.
Brad's getting eaten alive.
Brad, let me Climb up here. Let me get a look into this thing.
Oh.
Let me walk around it a little bit. First of all, some kind of creature has taken and piled tons and tons of leaves and branches to either camouflage or make a place to hide. We notice claw marks as we look at the trees and stuff. Then we come around, we spin in here, and we see how whatever it is has been all smoothed out.
So I'm gonna be sleeping with my Gulliver next to my pillow this time.
We see that they use trees around about to just
And you can see the trees are snapped. They're gonna show a scene here where the trees are snapped.
they're snapped like twigs. No hatchets, no
Right there.
no human marks of a saw. Everything snapped
Look how big that one is.
as though by mighty, mighty strength.
Mighty, mighty
Every
strength.
bit of it.
I seem to have picked a human camping area. So you can see with the fire pits.
We see down here a fire pit, but we see no evidence that there was ever a fire.
He's walking down.
Oh my word.
Bigfoot's walking down right now.
Uh-huh.
See, he's standing taller. Oh, I'll get back
We-
to camp.
We see something moving on a hill
That's the
above.
kid who runs.
No.
Where?
That's a smart one.
Where is it? Is it like right on the
It's
street, like right on the
Yeah.
left side of it?
No,
Wanna go?
it stopped and looking at us.
It's kind of looking at us,
I don't see it.
moving now.
The trees.
So it could be some like
It's to the right of them. They're just walking down.
wild man. You know, there's guys out there who live out in the there's guys out there who live out in the wilderness. You've seen specials on them, but this guy's arms are really long.
Kind of small, but this is far away.
I don't see nothing. Seriously.
On the ridge.
On the ridge.
Right on the river,
Almost to those trees.
coming down this way. See the patch of snow in the middle there? There's 3 patches of snow up there. See the one right up, straight up above the patch of snow?
Right under that big wall.
Yeah. The bigger patch of the 3 patches of snow.
Over here.
Yeah,
About it.
he's walking, that's right on the ledge. See, he's just, there, did you see him moving? He's almost to the tree there, those 2 trees. The 3 of them.
He's in the
walking
trees.
The 3 trees. You see the 3 trees there, don't you? Yeah. Right up the very ridge. But wait a second, he should,
Down there like that,
Yeah.
right?
right, he should come out in between them or past them. I think. There he is. See him right between the 2 trees right now? See?
Yeah, he's walking down.
He's between the 2 trees right now.
Yeah.
Where? Dang it.
Two trees to the left of King's Castle.
And it looks like he's having a hizzy fit.
King's Castle.
Yeah.
He's shaking his fist at us.
He's right in between the 2 trees. Right now.
He's screaming at us something. Get out of my camp. Get out of my camp.
He's probably saying, hey, there's 15 Bigfoots down
He's coming. Is it coming down?
He's
like
jumping up and down. He's going back and forth. He is furious. He knows we're not in his.
Now he's almost in the tree.
Where's John? There he is.
That is.
Doesn't look like a person.
It does not look like a
Doesn't
person.
look like a person.
Its arms are way too big. Look at how long the hands hang down to the.
How can you
Oh,
see
yeah,
from
they're down to his knees at least, aren't they?
Look at what I'm looking at. I don't know.
Now, when the guy comes walking down and says, "Hi," you're gonna erase all of that.
This is.
Why?
Because it's not very.
Probably about an hour. Get dark out now.
Okay, we better have our
His arms obviously.
Hold on. Nita.
His arms obviously hang below his knees.
Make fun of Sasquatch.
Don't make fun of Sasquatch. So the weird thing is they're so unafraid. And if you guys are into the 411, Missing 411, the new documentary that's going to be coming out, David Paulides has never really said, I'm going to pause it right there. Has never really said what his theories are. And I think he's going to say that it's Bigfoot abducting people, which is weird. Now, I know, listen, I've gone back and forth on Bigfoot myself. I don't really know. This is pretty weird, I've got to say. And there's another one that's extremely weird. That's just Bigfoot howling, and I've done that video on Exozone before. But I will say that I've been camping up there, and something can certainly live up there if there's just a few things, and you would never, ever, ever see it. There is so much dense forest up there. And I'm sure anybody who's been up there, and I'm sure a lot of you have, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So just thought I'd share that with you. Did the GOT guys shoot did Miguel Sapochnik shoot it? I know, right? Echo Base. You know what's funny? As I was watching a little bit of Altered Carbon today, and Miguel Sapochnik directed a bunch of those episodes, and my God, that's a good show. I tried California food before. Your lack of smell is a bonus. Me, Southern Louisiana, best food in the world. I have not eaten down there, but I don't like seafood. But if they have other things other than that, seafood or anything comes out of the water, I don't like. I don't doubt you. The only thing we do well, Mark C, is it's in Southern California, and it's Mexican food. San Francisco has a lot of good, like, fine dining restaurants, a lot of good, like, places that give you like 2 pieces of lettuce and a cube of meat, but it's like the best meat you've ever had. We also have a couple of good Brazilian restaurants here, but no, SoCal is cheap. Mexican food is brilliant down there. But other than that, I agree with you. The only place worse, Bigfoot is real as the swamp thing, says Halam 899. Well, Halam, you say that now, but being in California and being in Northern California, it's part of the culture up north of me. Well, actually, San Francisco is not technically Northern California. It's actually Central California. There's an entire state above me that's giant and massive, and doesn't have a lot of people in it. I don't like seafood. Okay, Gary is an alien. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people don't like seafood. Yeah, I don't like seafood. I don't know why. I just don't. I've tried many times. Guitar Man 91588 said he could not stand Altered Carbon. It lost the plot a little bit at the end, but I dug it. It was visually cool as hell. Gary should be get a team together to do a research series for their channel and getting into the area with thermal cameras and drones and stuff. That'd be cool. I would go. I'd go on a Bigfoot hunt. See, Joseph doesn't like seafood either. There you go. The worst pizza I've ever eaten was when I lived in LA. The Mexican food is delicious. I miss that. Yeah, our pizza here sucks. It really does. I didn't realize that until I had some in New York, and I was like, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Gary is an alien working to convince us that the Orville is real. The Orville is real. It's not real. This is real. This is real. It's as real as you and me. 3dtrekker.com. 3dtrekker.com. He sent me this too. I think I showed you guys this. The Forbidden Planet. How fracking cool is that? Cool, I say. Yeah, so I redid my walls are bare. I'm gonna show you this. This is so I'm redoing the office. Did you guys notice the difference? By the way, you win the no prize if you can see the difference behind me. There's something very different. Something is missing. But yeah, so there, bare walls. Bare walls. They're gonna get covered up eventually, but Oh, you guys never see that side of the office, do you? There's Christopher Reeve. That's my favorite action figure right there. That Hot Toys Christopher Reeve is the shite. Oh my God. Somebody sent me. So I'm a huge Mego fan, as you can tell, right? So been a Mego fan since I was, my first action figures were, I got a Kung Fu Grip G.I. Joe and a Human Torch Mego. And yeah, so big Mego fan, obviously. Somebody sent me those giant Megos, the 18-inch. So it's just an 18-inch version of the 8-inch version. Oh my God. And it's in a box. And they sent me all 5. And I checked the price on these things. People, it's like $500. Was it the TARDIS? I have a TARDIS up here, Bjorn. There's some TARDISes right there. But I'm going to turn that door right there. That's got my wife's Star Trek figures on it. I'm going to make that a TARDIS door and paint it blue. I don't like the purple trim. This used to be my Logan's room when he was a baby. Turd Burglar 4.99. Nice to see the Dark Phoenix director taking some blame for the failure of the movie. Not a whole lot of folks in Hollywood doing that these days. I thought that was really nice. And I don't think he should have. And I think he took one for the team because I don't think it was really his fault. All his fault. But it is nice to see. We've heard that from Sam Raimi. But yeah, we need to really encourage that. So Simon Kinberg, hey, you tried, you failed. And I'm going to tell you right now, I really appreciate you taking one for the team. And I think I speak for a lot of fans. We know it wasn't you. We know it wasn't you. We know it was Kevin Feige and Marvel. I only have a Tintin statue. Lady Blada, I love Tintin, by the way. I dig Tintin. I like the movie like a lot. Maybe the cosmos is hardwired to produce forms of greater consciousness at every level, molecules, genes, brains, and beyond, not toward a single final form, but a primal drive embedded in everything. Oh, loquacious primate is always so deep. Yeah, I think there is a single thing driving everything. I was pondering that today. What was I? It was in between dusting. I sat down, had a little lunch, and was just sitting by myself. And I was thinking, because I was thinking about my OCD, because I've got major OCD. And I was like, what causes OCD? Like, there has to be some kind of a natural explanation for it. And is it a byproduct of human evolution because we're still basically, monkeys, and our primal drive is to wake up, find food, eat food, and then go find food again, and then sleep, and then go find food. So now that we're pretty comfortable in society and I can find food, is it that need to find sustenance and shelter being redirected in other ways within my brain and my body because that stuff is taken care of now? Or did I get dropped on my head when I was a kid? I'm not really sure. Now that you mentioned, something looks different, but I can't pinpoint it. Oh, I'll tell you. So there used to be a picture right there, which was a original art piece by Derek Robertson, Cosmic Crater Girl, like reading a comic book in front of I'll show you what the picture is. Find it. In front of the Comic Outpost, my old comic store, and it's basically, what the hell? Why is this moving? Let's get to. You know what? I'll go to the Comic Outpost. I wonder if it's. What's funny is I go to the Comic Experience Outpost Facebook page, and it still has my pictures on it, like all over the place. If you dig deep enough, I'll show you. So this is the comic shop now. This is the place I used to own. And if you go to photos, you go to profile pictures. There. That's me and Nerdrotic Jr. Long time ago. Yeah, there's me without a beard. Look at that. All young and with my bow tie. Bow ties are cool. Yeah, there's Geekasm. I made that. There's pictures all over the place. Oh, I'm showing. Oh, my son doesn't look like that much more anymore. He's young, but that's Nerdrotic Jr., by the way. Yes, I did free comic book day and a taco. Free comic book and taco day. So I gave away free comic books and free tacos. I was very popular that day. So I got a taco truck to come by, and I paid him $500, and you came in and you got a ticket, which gave you 2 free tacos and a free soda. I made $15,000 that day in sales, by the way. So if anybody doesn't think that's a good idea, just saying it was worth the 500. So I came out ahead on that one. Yeah. There's my okay. Oh, there's a picture of this. So this wall right here, this is I had every issue of Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy to issue 600 wrapped around my store on the upper ceiling, and this is one of the pictures of it. Every issue in order. In order. It took me effing forever to do that. But if you look up on the ceilings there, see those high ceilings? I had the comics wrapped around the whole place. But yeah, there you go. There's Derek Robertson appearance. Oh, there it is right there. So you recognize this guy? That's Chris Gore from DVD Tuesday, which was on G4's Attack of the Show. And he and I made a little deal, and he agreed to wear my shirt on one of his shows, and I gave him a big Batman symbol and a big Superman symbol. Well, he came in our chat for the live stream last week and said, "What's up?" So I thought that was really cool. I didn't know I still had a picture of that. This one, Ray Stevenson came by. That was cool. I don't know what brought me down this. Oh, here it is right there. Yeah, there's the ad right there. Presents Hero Initiative and Comic Outpost present a celebration of Amazing Spider-Man 600 benefit comic creators in need. All 600 issues of Spider-Man will be on display, auction items, and special guests to be announced. Yep. Oh, and this is the comedy event. So I used to have stand-up comedians come in, and they did comic versus comics. Yeah, good times. So this is what I was good. So this is a piece of the picture that was behind me. Maybe I can find a better one. There's me in my element. Is it banners? Maybe banners. Am I boring you guys? Hang on, sorry. Not profile, cover photo. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, I wasn't a Doctor Who fan back then. Not at all. There's Nerdrotic Jr. and his little friend on Free Comic Book Day. I had a big stuffed Spider-Man hanging upside down on the ceiling. Yeah, there you can see more of Spider-Man right there. Pretty cool. So I had all the head busts above the new releases, and that was supposed to be like if you were visiting Craven's house, and he had all the superhero heads on his wall. This is a great picture of Nerdrotic Jr. I love that so much. So that's my downstairs door. That's what the door is going to look like. Where is that picture? Where is that picture? I don't see it. Well, shit. Maybe it's at Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic. Take forever to load. I'll be back with you. I'm just like really want to show you this picture for some reason. Photos. My Lord, am I going to have to go through all those? Yeah, that's going to take forever. Comic-Con. Oh, Jesus Christ. I cracked myself up. No, it's not there. Oh, well. It's not there. Guess you're not going to see it. Maybe I have it on my computer somewhere. It's a cool picture. I want you guys to see it. Be right there. Hang on. Comic Outpost. There it is. There's a black and white version of it. So Derek did this for me because he's awesome. So that. So that's Cosmic Crater Girl. So that's another version of the girl you see in my banner, but she's got her jacket on and she's reading a comic that says Tales from the Outpost. You can see Derek's little signature there on the left. Yeah. I think it's pretty good art, to be honest with you. He's freaking awesome. So we're going to get him on when The Boys airs, which is going to be soon. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was cool. SJW Removal Inc. What is up? David Allen, what is up? Striderman, very cool for Seth MacFarlane to shout you out earlier today. Blew my mind. Both me and JP got shouted out, and I could not believe it. Was surreal. It's one of those moments that I showed the wife, and she's like, I don't get it. I don't get why people like you. It's just funny as hell. Yeah, man, it was cool as hell. Well, I got too many damn windows open now. Hang on. I was gonna show it off a little bit. Proud moment. I'm glad it wasn't deleted. I'm glad somebody tweet at him going, he's actually, an istophobe, and you shouldn't be encouraging him. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I love JP. Oh my God. Aw, Stephanie. Stephanie's the best. Gotta heart those tweets there. Little mecha random. Yeah. Cool stuff. I got a shout out by Minka Kelly. Oh, and nobody cares. I care, Halam. I care. What did she shout you out for? Egotastic is he's JP's cool. He doesn't get into all the kerfuffles on the internet. He tries to keep, that's why it's called Fun Time. Although I'm having fun. So yeah, thanks. Mikhail Wolf says great drawing. Yeah, Derek is a master at what he does. He is so good. Yeah, Minka is that's a good shout out, my friend. That is a good shout out. Well played. And Halam, youngster. Halam is what are you 10, 12, 13? Aren't you a part of the PewDiePie army? I'm just kidding. I know you're 18. Give me all your money. Gonna have a good time. Give me all your money. No, Minka is hot. Okay. I'm just, duh. Yes. Neil Salmon says, I'm cool. Thanks. You're cool too. You're cooler, Neil, than me. You're way cooler than me. I'm not actually that cool. Did you ask Seth if you could do a cameo in Orville? I was grateful to have the shout out. And I was like waiting for it to get deleted, like the expand shout out. So I'm glad it wasn't. And I just thanked him for giving us a good show. Cameo not required, but I would not turn it down if asked. I would not turn it down. Who is JP? JP is Egotastic Fun Time on the internet. He's mainly an Orville channel, so he covers the Orville. He doesn't like Star Trek Discovery, but he's a little more. Well, he's softer on it than I am for sure. Clownfish, yes, they did in their video. I forgot to thank them. Thank you for reminding me, Astasha. Clownfish TV is a great channel. JP's a great channel too. But Clownfish TV are very, very good at what they do. They gave me a little shout out today. So the Kurtzman, I guess I can tell you a little bit about. Okay, so Kurtzman is rumored to be, it's fired in every sense of the word, but fired in the sense of he doesn't have control of his show anymore. I don't think they're going to kick him out of the building or make some public statement. I think his name is going to remain on stuff. And but he does not, this is just rumors, he does not have control over the show. And there's 3 producers acting in his role right now. As far as I'm not sure if it's Picard or the whole thing, but it was not even a year ago, June 18th, 2018, he signed a 5-year deal as the Kevin Feige of Star Trek. He had complete control. Then they, in December, they hired John Van Sitters, who's a real Trekkie and Trekker, to handle the marketing and the brand and stuff. And then prior to before the end of season 2, they announced Michelle Paradise is going to be co-showrunner on Star Trek Discovery. And then they started just interviewing her. So Kurtzman's blew through a lot of money. And then the Netflix thing happened. Netflix rejected frickin' Picard. So I've seen other people spin that. I mean, that's the biggest evidence that our insider is 100% right, because he's been telling us this for a long time. Doomcock and I both sat on the information, and we didn't talk to each other. I assumed he knew it, but we sat on that for a while. Didn't say anything. But yeah, Netflix is pissed. Now, why are they pissed? I don't know. I imagine being named in the Anas Abdin lawsuit, which isn't going away. Have you noticed that hasn't gone away? Have you noticed that that's still going? Yeah. Even when somebody thought he would take a settlement when he lost his job, but Anas is so far not taking a settlement. So that's going on. Plus, they don't like the Picard show because nobody wants to license it or anything. And now what I'm hearing, and Doomcock passed on this information too, is CBS is threatening to sue Netflix if they don't carry season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. Netflix response was, sue me. Try it. And they're not going to. CBS can't afford to take on Netflix. Sorry. So that's where it stands right now. Are we going to get a season 3 of Star Trek Discovery? I'd say it's 50-50 right now. And I use again the example of Winona Earp, which was picked up for a 4th and 5th season by Sci-Fi. But the problem is IDW can't afford the show, and they were paying for all of it. And IDW is in major financial trouble. And in their latest quarterly report, they didn't even mention Winona Earp. I think something very similar is going to happen to Star Trek Discovery. It will get a season 3. Hey, we gave it a season 3. We just can't afford to make it. So we didn't cancel it. We just fixed the glitch. We fixed the glitch. All right. This like Mary Sue Me. That was good. Yeah, this turned into a regular live stream, but who cares? Let's get to wow, Tokyo Gaijin. What is up, my friend? 200 yen. Here's a tip for the tip jar for your Geeks and Gamer debut. Congrats. Thank you. I'm glad so many of you watched it and liked it. Thank you. I'm going to ruin Jeremy's reputation. Jeremy is not a toxic male. I'm sorry. But news at 11, Jeremy is actually a pretty level-headed, nice guy. I know. I just blew his cover. Geeks and Gamers is going down now. You don't need to sign a petition to get rid of him. And actually, his hair looks like cotton candy hair as Jeremy's. That's exactly how it looks under the hat. Thank you, Tokyo Gaijin. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys liked it. Guitar Man 91588 for $5. Love the channel, Gary. Hail to thee and Lord Doomcock. Hail Doomcock, by the way. FYI, Bigfoot is gay. And those screams are from the victims he's bending over and reaming out. Guitar Man 91588. That might be. But is that just, I don't think it's not voluntary. I'm just saying, I think that's consensual. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Screams of pleasure, probably. Have you ever seen the 18-inch Star Wars action figures? They even come in the giant card. Yes. The Gentle Giant ones. They are amazing. So what I didn't get any of those, but Gentle Giant did a Batman the Animated Series one, which is in that closet right there, so you can't see it right now. I got one of those. And I got a DC Superpowers one. So it looks like a normal carded action figure. It's just this big. Yeah, the Gentle Giant stuff, Mark, is so nice. But the Star Wars one, if I still gave Star Wars money, that would probably be the thing I would buy, Mark, for sure. Gentle Giant 12-inch Batman. I want to here's a joke hard. So if you see this, it just looks like a normal size action figure, but it's not. It's actually effing huge. Yeah, that's the action figure is 12 inches. Save your jokes, please. Or not. It's okay. And it doesn't really, yeah, here's the one I have right there. That thing is so badass. And here's the other one. Pretty cool. Oh, they got a Wonder Woman one too, I think. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm gonna shut this one down. This was fun. I like just chilling with you guys. A little chill stream. Burn some incense like a dirty hippie, and yeah. And now it's all over my desk. But oh well. I just cleaned it. So what do we have next? Tomorrow we have EFAP in exactly 11 hours and 19 minutes. I will be on Mahler's channel. I will go as long as I can. And we will be EFAPing. So the subject is going to be Word of Wolf and Mahler don't like The Expanse, and I do. So I don't know what the debate's going to be. I don't expect to talk people out of their opinions, but if they expect to talk me out of mine, good luck. I mean, I like it. And then they'll ask me why, because I do. It's cool. I like it. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But I'm sure we're going to go over something. We might even go over Robert Meyer Burnett's live stream on Russian farm trolls or whatever. Do you own any hot toys? Those things are crazy expensive. I want to get a few, but I can't seem to stop super chatting. Well, Nicholas, Glenn, if you want to get one, stop super chatting. Thank you for the $4.99. My opinion on Hot Toys. They are amazing. They're really freaking well made, top notch action figures. I don't know what I don't like about them anymore. I used to love them. I used to have a shitload of them. I have a Hot Toy. I'm sure I do. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I have one. I have a Hellboy. Is that a Hot Toy? And I got a Mal. I don't know if that's oh, I've got a Ghost Rider. I've got a couple Ghost Riders. I got the Ghost Rider on the big motorcycle, and I got the newest Ghost Rider. My favorite are the Osmus, Lord of the Rings. Oh, those are the best ever. 3 Zeros Game of Thrones stuff is pretty good. Hot Toys are amazing, and they're really expensive, and they look great. I don't like the movie superhero versions. If Hot Toys made a comic book version of Spider-Man and a comic book version of Iron Man, I'd buy it in a second. But as far as like the Tony Stark looking like Robert Downey Jr., no. The only one I really love, yeah, this is Hot Toys. I showed it to you earlier, is the Christopher Reeve. That's the shit. And I don't display it, but the Marlon Brando Jor-El from Superman Returns is freaking great. I wish they would do a Zod and an Ursa and a Non. Can somebody get on that, please? That would be great. Right. Did I say I was going to go and then I didn't go and I start talking for another hour? But no, I like 90s action figures, as you can see, and I like vintage action figures and Migos, and for one, they're cheaper. But I have a bunch of sideshow stuff. I have all the sideshow Buffy figures, the sideshow Monty Python, Holy Grail. That's why I'm rearranging my office to display some of that stuff. So, and I really love the 1/12 scale Mezco are awesome too. Those are great. All right, everybody. So yeah, the store, the comic shop. I'm going to do my probably one and only crowdfunding thing here soon. And it's going to be for a shop it's going to be a year away. I'm going to do it very slowly and right, because I don't want anything the channel is still going to remain the priority. I know I don't want anything distracting from that, but I'll give you guys details on it and stuff, and it'll be fun. It'll be cool. So it's going to be online, brick and mortar. I'll tell you all about it, but but it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different. I keep super chatting more than planned as well. Sorry. Thanks, guys. It keeps the content rolling. Honestly, yeah. And sorry, there won't be any videos till Monday, which, I mean, I hate doing that, but I've got the EFAP tomorrow and I'm rearranging my office. So Monday will be the next video, and I have no idea what it's going to be yet, but I'll let you know when I find out. All right. So I'm really going to go now, and thanks for joining me here as always. And I will see you guys on EFAP tomorrow, and then the Inquisition that night. And yes, that's a lot of live streaming. So I'll probably skip the Monday nooner and I'll just do one Tuesday. How's that sound? I will probably just do videos. So Exozone is going to be next week, Bruce. So everybody, Exozone is next week. It's Tuesday or Thursday. Undecided on which day yet. So I will let you know as soon as I know. And it's during the day. So it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday during the day. So everybody have a great night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Cardinal Sin, what's happening to the Google Hangouts, Gary? It's going away in October. Don't know why, but it's going away. So I'm going to have to get a new machine, OBS or Wirecast or something. And I don't know. I got to figure out a way to get guests on. I already know how to solo. You could solo live stream with the YouTube webcam, but yeah, I don't know. I think it sucks. I love Hangouts, but oh well. That's the way it goes. All right, everybody have a great night. Be good to each other. Hail Seth MacFarlane. Please show him love for the Orville, because he treats the fans right. So I think as much crap as we give people for treating the fans like shit, which we do not hold back on that ever. And if you see it, and please send me a message, point it out to me. I will instantly make a video on it because that's kind of like my thing. And thank you for the Happy Father's Day. But let's also praise people like Simon Kinberg, who took responsibility, and Seth MacFarlane, who treats fans right. Listen, I'll say real quick, we all know what Seth's politics are, but if you watch an Orville episode, and it's weird to say this out loud, you feel respected as a viewer, like you're smart, and we actually like you being here, and we want you around for more, and we really appreciate you spending time and spending money on our product. I know it's a weird thing to say out loud, but that's what he is. He should be the norm, but right now he's not. He's the outlier, which is, good for him. He's going to benefit from it greatly. I think the Fandom Menace, hopefully more people will like the Orville. I know it won't be for everybody, and I understand that if you don't like Seth or you don't, like that kind of aesthetic. I get it. But it's really, you should at least support him for not attacking fans. I mean, for doing his job, basically. I don't know. We just want to encourage it. That's all. All right. Is he? Yeah. I think Seth is probably cool with a lot of stuff, and he has to probably, I mean, I don't want to, he's like Robert Meyer Burnett. He's there. He works there. There's certain guidelines and rules you got to go through that are unwritten and unsaid. And that's the way, if you want to do business there, and it sucks. I love Seth, man. Yeah. And I loved him before he shot me a thanks on Twitter. That was a good day. That was a good day. I had a good day today. Got to dust some action figures, got thanked by Seth MacFarlane, but most of all, best part, I got to hang out with you guys because you're the best. So everybody, yeah, Dr. Woo Woo. I will see you tomorrow on EFAP. Do not kneel ever. Don't ever take shit from a creative, and have a nice night.